Indy, Tennessee is going to be an interesting game to me there in the AFC South. You got some thoughts there?
So the fact that this honestly makes me very irritated. Why? I understand that the home team gets a 3-point bump.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. According to Caesars Sportsbook or whatever, Indy is the 1-point favorite. So, I mean, technically, Tennessee is still the favorite, but how in
Right.
the hell can you see Tennessee as an underdog and not just bet all your money
Slam
on
it.
that?
Right.
Carson Wentz, sure, he had a couple of good games the past few weeks, but Tennessee, they go in, they beat Buffalo, they kick the shit out of the Chiefs.
Yep.
And you're going to say that this game's even going to be close against a mediocre, the Indianapolis Jonathan Taylors?
Right.
There's no way. It's, I, I don't think it's going to be a good game. I think Tennessee is going to kick the shit out of them. I think the only bright spot is going to be Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
You're plugging in Michael Pittman. I could see, like last week, a couple of big plays from him.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the Titans are just they're gonna mollywop them.
Yeah, that's an interesting line for sure. And the line is moving towards Tennessee. A lot of public people thinking the same way that the Titans are going to roll. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the play. Tennessee looks great. It's
Yeah,
not like they didn't after their huge win. They came right in and beat the Chiefs, devastated them. So, okay, let's see here. Tight end, I'm going Jared Cook. My flex is Henderson, who's been awesome for the Rams. And hopefully
I
he's
got a
just
few of the same people.
all right. Hey, I like that. He's just going to
Yeah,
run all over the Texans this week.
yeah,
Yeah,
I see that as well. He's also quietly been a really good back this year.
certainly.
He hasn't been like holy shit, Derrick Henry went off for this many points this week, or
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift. Oh my God,
He's not the flashy name.
he's just a workhorse. He gets plenty of opportunities and makes the most out of them. And I think you can, if there wasn't a salary cap for this DFS, just
Mhm.
put everybody in for the Rams this week
Right. Yeah. Just
because
stack
that
them.
offense is going to be so good this week.
So my quarterback's Stafford. I'm a little worried because what if this is a total blowout and then he stops producing? But I mean, get a couple touchdowns and he's pretty cheap, 7,600.
Well, I mean, look at last week with Brady against Chicago.
Oh
They
yeah, that's
played
right.
like a half of football, and Brady had 4 touchdowns.
Yep. Yep.
Was
Good
like
point.
the quarterback 5 on the week. Like I said it last week. I thought Matt Stafford had a really good chance of being that top quarterback. I think he's got just as good a chance this week, and that's why I'm starting him in my DFS lineup as well. He's my quarterback, and he's. I think if you're doing just the Sunday games, he's the second highest quarterback
Yeah.
budget wise. But you got that kind of a matchup in an offense that looks this good. You can't not play him.
Right. No, I love it. Let's hear your lineup. You said some similar names, but fill out the rest.
So Stafford at quarterback, at running back, the Chargers are really bad against the run. So Damian Harris, who's looked real good the past couple of weeks, 100-yard game last week. I think he continues that against the Chargers this week. So I plugged him in. Nick Chubb, we just talked about all of the things going on with the Browns. He may play this week.
Yeah.
But even if he does, I still love Dearness Johnson. I was
Yeah.
not high on him last week. Went out, ran all over the Broncos. Part of that was the Broncos they couldn't have tackled a house if it fell on top of them. And he looked really good. And, if Chubb is in, what kind of role is Johnson going to have? Well, he's going to have the Kareem Hunt role.
Yeah.
And Kareem Hunt arguably has been better than Nick Chubb this year. So I think he's a very good play this week. At my wide receivers, spending up on Jamar Chase, a game against the Jets. I mean, if you've got a guy, he's had a 40-plus yard reception every single week so far. And I mean, that connection is great. I think he possibly gets 2 of those in a rout against the Jets.
Oh yeah.
So that's a huge play. I'm not excited about the Washington-Denver game.
Yeah.
But Tim Patrick, I think, is a very good play this week. If Jerry Jeudy is back this week, which still up in the air as he's coming off IR, that's one that'll possibly change, because if Judy's back, Patrick's going to be next to irrelevant. So, but against Washington, kind of shitty defense in a game that's probably going to be close, I like one of those receivers. Emmanuel Sanders, you got to roll out Buffalo. All things Buffalo, it's going to look good this week. My tight end.
My boy.
No.
KP.
You probably not going to know who he is. Tommy Sweeney.
Oh my God, Boston College. Come on, of course.
Okay, you do know Tommy Sweeney. All right.
I love T. Sweeney. Yeah. So Bill's tight end behind Knox.
Yep, he's a fantastic play this week. Miami's not very good against tight ends. Next to like bottom of the league against tight ends. And if you look at the impact Dawson Knox was having, 4 straight weeks with touchdowns in a game where Buffalo is going to run all over this team, I think Tommy Sweeney can at least get 3 or 4 receptions, possibly get in the end zone once. And for a sub $3,000 tight end, that's huge. Henderson, as we talked about, that's just a great matchup. He's a quietly great running back. And then because I spent so low on Sweeney, I get to plug in the Bengals defense against a backup quarterback for the New York Jets.
Who you heard? It's going to be Flacco, right? They traded back for him. So your old boy, Joe, the hat rack Flacco back there.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
No, 100%. You mentioned Chase Adam last week. That was crazy when they beat up on the Ravens. He just ran right past the defense for like 80 yards. I just traded I got rid of Mahomes. I'm out on the Mahomes sweepstake in a league.
I just got rid of Tyreek Hill, so
there you go. I got Harris in return, Marvin Jones Jr. I was rolling out DJ Dallas as my running back number 2, so I needed to replenish the roster. I always used to be so afraid of New England running backs. Hell, I started Brandon Bolden in one league last week, and he went off, but now he's probably going to do nothing. Harris seems to be the most reliable guy we've seen in that backfield for Belichick in almost a decade.
Yeah, he's kind of a guy that last year even you were waiting to see who was going to take over that backfield, and you saw those flashes from Harris. But it was, I don't know if it was schemes of things. They also had Cam Newton, so you didn't see a whole lot of production out of Harris. You saw those flashes, and you knew he could be good. I think the offense that they're running now is much more complementary to have Harris be good, and he just is.
Yep.
And I really enjoy him. If there was a way that I could buy him for kind of cheap, I definitely would try. But I've sold away a lot of things these past couple of weeks to make one roster look like another roster that's doing well. So hopefully that'll help work things out.